let me tell you just a little bit more about Dominic, and then I'll let him take over here. So, Dominic Raimondo is a former lost boy of South Sudan, a public speaker, and an artist. He has a website too, and I can link that up to Canvas for you guys. After spending 10 years in a refugee camp, he had had the opportunity to be resettled to the U.S. He was granted this blessing and took it with open arms. After all the struggles he faced after he was resettled, he still beams with smiles, high spirits, and hopes to educate, outreach, and give something back to his community of Salt Lake, as well as his home village of Loudon. He tells his story as he thought many times. If I ever went back to my village, they would ask what I have done and what I have brought to them. I couldn't just help my remaining family and be happy, because there are many others that are struggling. So I thought the best thing for me to do was build a school for the children to be educated so that they can have a successful future and my village can have the structure to move forward. Over the past 3 years, Dominic Raimondo has used traditional art to raise funds to build a traditional school building in his village in South Sudan. In 2012, Dominic visited his village for the first time and started the school construction. Dominic shares his refugee story and his village project at KSL Radio. We invite all those who would like to volunteer in helping Dominic accomplish building of the school, hear his story, learn the history of the newest country of South Sudan, learn about Dominic's journey to where he is now, and let him teach you about the importance of the bull in culture. And he'll tell you more about that, guys. And how, as children, they would scoop the clay from the river and mold their toy bulls. So, cool little figurines that he molds and makes here. Okay. With that, I'm going to give the time over to Dominic and also Martha.
Thank you, Lina. How's everybody doing? Yeah. I know it's Monday evening, and so what do you expect? You know, a lot of people don't like Mondays. I also, but when Friday comes, you know, I start getting excited and ready for weekend. So, my dear friends, before I go further, I would like to introduce one of my friend from the same country. Her name is Martha. She is the assistant president for our project that we are working on. The project that helps the kids, the orphans in South Sudan, specifically in our village where we were born and raised. So I would like to just invite her to come in front and to say a word or two, or just to say hi, and then we can go from there. So Martha, please come forward and say hi to you.
Hello. Hello. Yes, my name is Martha Roth. I come since 1990 in the United States. When I came here, I came for 3 children. Now I have 4 children here. I raised 7 children. I have 7 boys, no girls. Yeah, when I let you know, and back home, it's very hard for kids, for school, everything. It's very difficult. Like me, when I show you something, some people are scared because not happen there. If I tell you, like when I'm 10 years old, I get a bit for king cobra. No doctor. Just you pray God. I survive. This is my hand. Everybody see maybe say I get a child with a gun. Not a gun, this is a king cobra. When I'm 10 years old. I'm sick for 9 months, no doctor. When I came here, I think I'm very alive because I go to school, my kids go to school, they eat all the time. When I'm there, I'm sick, no food, no medicine. My mom told me, you know, tomorrow you get food. When we have the morning, we tell you food, no food. 3 days, 4 days, we get something. Now we You know, I'm here, my kids, my family were there. I want to do something. I don't have nothing. I want anything I got. We want to share. And Dominic have a kid. When we do, we make a clay to make a book. We thank you for you guys because they're very hard. When we go to sell it, we have to support. Not because it's a night, because it's support. We don't have the money for your pocket to give us. If I do something, you have me for it. We make this one, we make this one, we make the jewelry and this one for her. Maybe later Dominic show you something about it. I'd like to thank you because we let her come here. We let you share this one. We need to have to do something for support. Like a school fly or a book or a pad, a pencil. It's very helpful, but then nobody got it. Two people, they cut it like pencil, they broke it. I have a half, somebody have half. Not the school because they don't have nothing. Our country only 3 years old. Now, big problem there. When we have been passed, it tells God. We have to be praying God because the dream comes true. They don't go backward, we want to go forward. Thank you very much. Let me talk to you here. I'm glad because you let me talk.
She's wonderful and so sweet. So that's why, I said we have to go over here, to speak with the students here. My dear friends, this is my 3rd day to come over here. So far I have enjoyed, and I really, enjoy the place and the people around. So I'm very, very, very happy. And actually, I'm also glad that you guys had a chance to watch the 12 minutes, show about the Lost Boys of South Sudan. At least you have an idea of what, I'm going to talk about. My dear friends, before I go further, I actually wanted to talk about something. And that something was the pledge of the refugees and the active role of the United Nations. My dear friends, today I decided not to talk about that. Instead, I want to talk about my experience, what I went through in my village, so you know exactly my stories. I also decided, I said, well, if they will know my stories, so I'd rather also, go ahead and give you guys the historical background of Sudan, and then what I went through in my village when my village was attacked. And actually also, if I have chance, I will talk about my escape and the journey to Kenya, and how the United Nations helped me. My dear friends, if I still have time, I will also talk about my life in the refugee camp. That's in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. And finally, I will share with you the Lodo South Sudan School project, the project that I founded, and the project that I and Martha and John over there. Actually, in fact, if you guys look behind, John is over there. He is in charge of the website, videos, pictures, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, John, for coming over. I really, I really appreciate that. For you to leave your job and come over and take care of, help us here. My dear friends, before I go further, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this golden opportunity to thank Tamina for first, time inviting me to come over to speak to the last 2 classes over here. And again now, this is my 3rd time. I would like to thank her. And also thanks Lina for this wonderful class today. I really, appreciate you organizing this class. Thank you so much. And also, of course, my friend, Chief J here. This is my third time also meeting him, and he's a very good guy. I'm looking forward, maybe him showing me some, recipes, how to, plan or cook some food. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, my dear friends, I would like to thank you also for coming over and listening to me. I also like to thank myself because actually I should be sleeping now because I work during the night shift and then get some hours and come over here. So I would like to thank also myself. Who else can do that for me? I have to do it for myself. And so, my dear friends, I really thank you for the warm welcome, great and lively welcome this afternoon. Lina actually introduced me to you briefly, and I would like to go further and introduce myself to you. Like I said, my name is Dominic Raimondo. I'm from South Sudan. I'm one of the former lost boys from Sudan, and actually, in fact, I'm the youngest one. And I haven't talked about that, but this is my second time. I'm the youngest lost boys of South Sudan, and you guys have probably watched some of my friends in the video that you have watched over the last few days. I came from the big family, the family of 12, and I'm the last born. I lost my father and my mother during the war, and some of my brothers and sisters, but I'm left with 2 sisters and 3 brothers. All of them are in South Sudan, and they have now kids, who are also, still struggling. And so I actually came from a big, I should say, big to me, but in South Sudan it's the smallest tribe. The name called Didinga tribe. So that's my tribe. And Martha actually, she is from Nuer, the second largest tribe in South Sudan. So you can see the gap, and we do have over 65 different tribes in South Sudan. So you'll have an idea of where my tribe is. So it's all the way at the bottom. We actually border with Uganda and Kenya. My dear friend, Sudan was the largest country in Africa. It's bordered with Kenya and Uganda on the south, Ethiopia and Eritrea on the east. Sudan got its independence in January 1956, and it's got its independence from British. My dear friends, during that time, we were all excited. We were all happy that we have our own country, that we will be, ruling and having good time. But, as you know very well, in Sudan, we had Arabs in the northern part and African black people in the south. And so, that time, most of my people were, but the northern, group consists of Arabs were, educated and they were knowledgeable. And so when the independence came in, they were the one controlling the whole country, the whole government. But my people were just there without knowing what to do. But, in 1958, my dear friends, we from South Sudan realized that there was really a very big problem. There was less representation in the government, less development in the Southern Sudan, and so we actually decided and said, what happened? This is our country, and how come we don't have roads, we don't have hospitals, we don't have schools, and the country is full of resources. So what's going on? And therefore we, decided to form a rebellion. And Southerners get together, they fought against the government that was in Northern Sudan. And so the Civil War started for a long time now. During that time, a lot of people lose their life. So many got displaced. So many become refugees all over the world. That was a long time ago before I was born. But because of the consistency, because of the seriousness, the government in Northern Sudan realized that now I think this war will not end. But in 1972, my dear friends, they signed the peace agreement. And that peace agreement ended the civil war. And then the peace came in the country. People had hope. They said, well, now probably we're going to have a lot of improvement. We're going to have schools, hospitals, both in our country. But that was not the case. They did not implement all the rules the laws that they signed. And so in 1972, my dear friends, that's what happened in 1972. And in 1983, we decided we are not going to work with them anymore because we did not see any results that was there. So to make the matter worse, they introduced what they so-called the Sharia law. Sharia law was to restrict and to make Southerners not have a lot of power, and they want Southerners who were mostly Christians to change into Muslims. So we say, well, no, we're not going to do that, but we are going to fight for our right. We're going to fight for our country so we can enjoy all the things that we do have. And so we started another war in 1983. That's where my generation, the so-called the Lost Boys of South Sudan, started experiencing the war, the bitterness and the suffering of that time. So, my dear friends, during that time, the government and the rebels were all struggling who to win the war. So many villages were bombed by the government. So many villages were attacked by rebels. And many young men were recruited. Many people died. So many escaped to different countries, such as Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia. My dear friends, it was at 4 in the morning when my village was attacked. It was when I and my family were sleeping in our small hut. We heard the sounds of the guns in our village. We were in our house, we were nervous, we were scared, we were confused. We asked ourselves, what's going on? During that time, the gunshots keep going on, and the sounds came closer and closer. So my father decided to come out and try to find what is exactly going on. As he came out of the house, my father saw a lot of neighbors running around, a lot of cows. Some people were killed, laying on the ground. My father came back inside the house and told us, let's get out and run. We came out and we ran in different directions. My father ran in different direction, my mother, my brothers and sisters, I ran in different direction. I went to the nearby bush and hid there. I was nervous. I asked God, I hope the rebels will not come and find me here. The whole village was in a mess. And so I hid there and I thought what can I do? But in a few minutes, I heard the noise of few neighbors of mine in the village passing by. During that time, my dear friends, I was completely worried. I said, if they come, I will run away. So the neighbors came and passed by, and then I came out and looked through the bush, and I saw those were my neighbors. And then I called them and said, hey, it's me. They looked back, and they told me, come, let's go. I joined the group, and we walked a few miles in the bush until when the sun rise, and we decided to hide again because we were afraid that we would be probably, found by the rebels and we would be attacked, or they would maybe probably coming behind us. And so we hide there during daytime, and then during the night we started moving. We did not want to go back to our village because the situation was getting worse. The rebels were going village to village, recruiting the youth, killing those who tried to resist. I and my friend, we started walking for 21 days toward Kenya. On our way, my dear friends, most of my friends died because of hunger. Some of them died because of animal attacks. Some of them died because of diseases. Some of them just, died because of many other things. So we kept walking, and we could not help those who were weak because we wanted to, be safe. And so we arrived in Kenya's border, and we met with the police patrol there. So we were detained and questioned, but we were just from the village. We did not have any language to communicate with the Kenyans police. We were weak. We could not do any communication. So they took us to the chief police, and the chief police officer called the United Nations and said, we have some few people here from South Sudan. The United Nations responded, and they came and they registered our name. They gave us some food, some clothes, and we stayed there for 2 weeks. But because of the situation was getting worse in my village, in my country, so many people started coming through our way. So we started having many people in that place. And so after 3 weeks, the United Nations, they took us to a new place, a place that now become one of the largest refugee camps by the name Kakuma Refugee Camp. So we arrived there, and we did not have anything. We depend on United Nations. We were given ration food. We get food after every 2 weeks. And so sometimes we don't even finish the food that we have after 2 weeks. So we were suffering. No future. We could able to wake up in the morning and drink porridge, and then stay the whole day and eat one meal in the evening and do the same. We did not have school, no hospital, no nothing. And so, and the group started coming. So the number increased. My dear friends, we spent 10 years in a refugee camp. And the United Nations, the United States government, the United States Catholic bishops, they sat down and said, what can we do for these young guys? If we keep them here, they have no future. And so they decided that they will give us second opportunity to come to America, to rebuild our lives, to get a little education, get a little experience, and when our country will be in peace, we will be able to go back and help the people in our country. So, but it wasn't easy. process. The three folks, the United Nations, the United States government, the United States bishops, told us to write our stories and go through the interviews and medical checkups. So some of us, we did those requirements and made through. But my dear friends, some of my friends, they did not. So I myself made it through with some of my friends also. I was very excited, very happy. And the first time I stepped on the plane, I was so excited. And when the plane took off, I was almost crying because my heart was like, because look, from the village to the refugee camp and to stepping the plane for the first time, it's an amazing feeling. While I was in the plane, I did not know where the restroom was. I could not even eat some of the food that the flight attendants gave us because I did not know the names. They told us, what would you like to have? I said, what would you like to have? So, soda or coffee or tea. So, it was just very, very new things to me. So, I did not eat. And I did not even go to the restroom because I was very nervous. Very nervous, I did not want to even walk on the plane. And so it was very exciting. Arriving in the United States was amazing. I was very happy for the first 1 month. I had a lot of friends who came and visited me. I had a lot of friends who came and took me to the movies, to the stores, and buy me pizza, buy me, chicken wings and stuff. I was very happy because I said, well, this is what I had in Africa. Everything is free in America. And so my rent was paid. I had cash coming in for the last 3 months. And then all of a sudden everything fell apart. I said, what happened? My friends who used to come stopped coming. The food stamp that they gave us, they cut off. They cut off paying our rent. And so I said, what happened? I and my friend, we started frustrated. We are so stressed. We said, we want to go back. If this is what America is. So those were some of the issues, my dear friends, that I and my friends experienced. And I do believe not only as the Lost Boys, I do believe all the immigrants, the refugees who come to the United States experience the same thing that I and my friends experienced. But don't get me wrong, we enjoyed actually, all those things, and we adapted very well in a very short time. Some of my friends, of course, we are all different. We cannot be all at the same level. Some of them made it through, some of us still working on, and some of us just did, not go, make it through. So many culture shocks. The other one was the food. Everything was sweet in America. I actually, I could not eat, some of the ice cream because my teeth just, really feel cold. And I was like, wow. The snow was one of the things that I was so worried that if I'm going to be in America, how am I going to walk on the snow? Because when I saw the snow the first time, I was very excited. And then I decided to walk on the snow. I fall 15 times. And I was like, wow. Very frustrated, very worried. I realized and learned that I want I wear wrong shoes. And I was feeling cold because I was wearing wrong clothes. And so I adjusted all those things, and I just got really, really better. My dear friends, we have a lot of stories to talk about. Going through all what I just told you, my village, traveling through the hardship, spending time in the refugee camp, and coming to the United States. I asked myself, what can I do to give back to my community? What can I do to help the kids, the orphans who are in my village? I had a long list of items. I say, can I build my own business? Can I support my own family in Africa so they can enjoy the dollars that I make here and live a better life? Can I open maybe a clinic? But all in all, my dear friends, I decided to build the so-called traditional school building. The building that will help the kids learn ABCD, 1, 2, 3, so that they can become knowledgeable, well-informed, self-sufficient, and productive citizens of the village and the whole world. That's what I decided to focus on from the list that I gave you. Because I value education. Without education, we will not have doctors, we will not have pilots, we will not have professors, teachers, instructors, and any other thing. So I say school is the only thing that I think, is the best to give back to the kids in my village. So that my village can enjoy, can come up and compete. And so I said, how can I start that? Can I go on the street and ask money? No. Say, I'm going to use my artistic skills to share with my American friends the culture, at the same time exercise and retain my culture and tell my stories and do the arts, sell to them so that I can raise money, raise funds to fulfill my dreams, goals. And so, as Lena stated earlier on, I go around and tell my stories. I go around and teach people the arts that I know. I go around and share my culture to people. I go around and tell people what I'm doing and why I'm doing. Because I know if I don't go out, then I will not make it through. So, my dear friends, it's been met with the villagers. So many of them cried. I told them, why are you crying? They told me they could not believe I was still alive. I told them also, I could not believe I will come and find you still alive. So all of us, everybody in the village started crying. And I told them, please don't cry. God knows what His plans are. I told them I would have already come a long time ago, but I said, if I come to the village and you guys ask me, what have you done and what have you brought to us, what would I say? So I told them, it took me a while to come back because I want to bring something to the village. And that something is none other than the school for the kids in our village. And so all the villagers were excited. They say God is great because our son, who we thought already died, was still alive, and now he's bringing us hope. I told them I don't do by myself. I have American friends who are supporting me. And actually, I went with one of the American friends there in the village. We spent a month in the village. And my American friend from youth at work, he actually enjoys staying in the village. We slept in a very small hut. Every time he get inside and come outside, I say, "What's up, man? How's the night?" He say, "Good, but I miss my bed because we slept on the ground, on the floor, and we ate what the villagers were eating." So it was a great experience. Now every time he called me, "When are we going back to the village?" I said, "Man, we have to raise some money so we can go. we can go and do the thing." So he's very excited, and he have seen what I was telling him about my village. He have seen on his own eye, and now he's the one now telling American people about my village because he have seen it. So, my dear friends, I don't want to take a lot of time to talk about many other things. I would just say, I and Martha, we are the voice of the voiceless. We are trying to make a small change. If we can do it, you can do it. You don't have to be in Africa to bring change. To change the kids, to change, anything. Right here, each one of us can make a change. So, the kids in my village, they need help. They need to know English, they need to know how to calculate maths, they need to know how to play soccer, they need to know how to sing. And I know everybody has specialties here. And if I can see you in my village, I will be the proudest man in the world. And so I ask you, if any one of you have passion of helping the poor and the orphans, please join us and let's move and help the kids in the village. We have a lot of areas that we need help on. John over there is helping us on creating the website, maintaining the website, the Facebook, and uploading the YouTube videos of different events. And Martha is here, is the boss here, and I'm the head manager. We need also other areas of the board to join us. We need executives. We need people who can do the fundraising. So we can move because any of us cannot move quick. They say one hand cannot clap, but two hands can clap and produce the sound. So if all of us can do that, we can produce a really, really good, results. We are actually doing a lot of workshops because that's how we do. We do the workshops so we can, share our culture at the same time and let people know what we are really doing, And so, if any one of you would like to purchase any clay bowl or any necklaces or anything, please see Lena and, get back to us so that, we can get all the help that, we want. And so, not to go very, very far, we talk about the historical background of Sudan, what I experienced, and what I went through during the attacks of our village, and my escape from village to Kenya border, and how the United Nations help, and also the life in the refugee camp and the process, and way to coming to the United States and what I went through and what I'm doing now. And so, my dear friends, you can see where I'm heading. It's a long journey. So, journey with me, if you can. And that's why I'm here. So, I ask everybody to journey with me. With these few remarks, may God bless you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Okay, guys, before he leaves, he's agreed to stay if anyone has questions. So if I raise a hand, does anyone have anything they'd like to ask Dominic or Martha about their lives and their experiences? Any questions? Go for it.
Yes.
So how many people would be in your village as a slave compared to Martha?
In my village, at least, I would say a good number. As you know, we had a long civil war in my country, and we have not done any, census or head counts. So my village is very big village, very healing, and some people, stay in the other side of the hill, the others on the other side. But now the school that I'm building, we are building in a very central area, whereby every kids in every corner of the village will be coming there. And so I would say right now we are dealing with the over 250 kids that comes from different areas in the village. And so those are just part of the kids in the village, because most of the kids in the village, they are controlled by their parents. The parents leave them to go and fetch water in the river. Some of them they are sent to go and get the firewood. And so what I did actually when I went there, I went with the school supplies, pens, pencil, backpacks, and distribute to those that came the first day. And the second day, what a turnout. So many of them show up because they saw those school backpacks and soccer balls and shoes and everything. And so that's what we are also working on, collecting the school supplies. And because we are going every year to the village, we are going, we are taking all those school supplies and distribute, to the kids, so that they can see, the importance of coming to school instead of looking after the cows, looking after the goats, fetching water, or helping, parents. And so actually I asked the parents, to volunteer in any way that they can, because I gave them an example of United States. I said, United States is great because, how people volunteer. They volunteer in the community. And so I also learned that culture with my passions from my heart to volunteer in helping the kids in the village, so I don't get paid. And they were really excited. So we told them we need a piece of land, we need you guys to make bricks, we need you guys to get go to the forest and get big pots and so many other things. So I was very encouraged. Men, women, they show up very early in the morning and they did all that we want, we asked them to do. And so that really empowered and encouraged me that they are ready and they are very, very appreciative of what we are trying to do. And so we have a big number, and that's why I said if I can see all of you in my village, that would be really very fun. So I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Lady this time. Right? We fair enough. They said ladies first. Yes, please.
So you mentioned that you have a website for your organization.
Yes.
I'll link it. I'll put it on to for you guys.
Yes. We have a website and we have Facebook page. You guys can, send requests and we become friends. What we do, we update what we have done, what we are doing, and what we will be doing in the future. So because we really want you to know what's going on, and we deserve that. So we are really try to update everything that we are doing. So Lena will put that one in the
I'll put that on the online class page on campus tonight, okay guys, on the his website.
So yes, ma'am. I saw a hand there.
So who was funding for the Lost Boys to come to America, and why all of a sudden did they just stop, essentially helping, like paying for your rent and whatnot?
Very, very good question. Maybe I can give that to Martha, but it was just nobody actually pay anything for us, the Lost Boys. Nobody sponsored us. We were just given a chance to come over and establish ourselves. First, when we did the process, then they got one-way ticket for us to come to the United States. And then they pay rent and utilities bills for us for 3 months. And then after that, they said you are on your own. And we have to pay back our one-way ticket, money. And so we did not have, any sponsor, to help us on everything. And so we were just given the opportunity. Is that help?
Yeah.
Sweet. Any other question? Yes, ma'am.
What was your first job in America?
Housekeeping? No, that's a very, very, sometimes, I think you have to be courageous to say what you did the first time, Actually, I work in the, my first job was in the factory. We were actually making plastic cups. I was on a production line receiving the plastic cups and put them together and put in a box and tie it up and send. It was fun. And what happened? After 3 months, they called me in the office. They say, we will let you go because we were running out of business. By then, I did not speak enough English. I said, what does that mean? I will let you go. I came to realize, instead of them saying, you're fired, they say, we let you go. When I came home, my friends said, why are you coming here? I told them, they told me they would let me go. So, but for the 3 months I was there, they paid me very, very well. When they sent me home, I had over 4,500 in my checking account. Because I was just saving the money and used the money that they gave us the first 3 months to pay the rent. They paid rent for me, but the money that I get, I saved them. And so I came to realize I think I was very smart. So to answer your question, warehouse was my first job. Yes, ma'am.
Was Utah the first place you came, or did you have at some other place and then came to Utah? And if so, how did you end up in Utah?
Very good question. Actually, I was resettled in New York first. I spent 9 months, and I left New York and then came to Utah because I had a friend here, and that told me Utah is the best. Have good education system, have good people, religious community, family oriented. I said, wow, those are the qualities and values that I'm looking for. I'm coming. So I got my one-way ticket and arrived in Utah. Since then, I've never gone back anywhere. So Utah is the best place. Utah is the best place. So with the evidence of everybody here, I can see all the smiles that helps great people up here. So any other question? Yes.
So is there a school now when you're trying to build a new one, or is there no school there? Or is it just very limited access?
Since the creation of the earth, my village have never had any school building. They have never seen any hospital building. They have never even seen the white man. The first time they saw the white man was the time I went with. And every kids were afraid. They were hiding in the bushes. And that one really actually attracted a lot of, brought a lot of attention in the village. So the first building that they saw was the one we just built. We have already built 3 school rooms. So we had 2 strategies. First strategy was we built temporary classes while we are working on the permanent ones. So the temporary ones, we have kids, get classes there. And then when we finish with the permanent one class, we move one class to the other one. And while we are continuing building the other classes. So why we did that? Because we want to really translate words into actions. Because we want the villagers to see the work, not just talking. When they see the kids going to those classes, they really, really, get so excited and encouraged and, hopeful of, the bright future of their kids. And so, to make me also see my efforts, to make me also come and tell you we have done something. So that's the whole thing. We are trying to, speak little but do more actions. So that's why we are doing all this. And we just really, right now, I would say have some issues in our country. The country that just got independent 3 years ago now have minor issues. I would not say really big issues, because big issues, big problems is really minor. I'm sure, just like any other, family they do have, internal problems, and then they will solve. So right now we have, a bit of fighting, in the country, and we are hoping at the end of this year, the 2 groups will come together, or they will come to their sense and bring the peace in the country, so that the villagers can enjoy, their lives in their country, and the kids get quality education, so they can, help, themselves. So, yeah, so that's the thing. So, any other question? Yes.
So the permanent building, is it being built as it's being funded, or is it already funded? And maybe still need funding for that building?
Yes, like I said, we don't get any funding anywhere. We get our small fund through the art shows and speaking engagement. That's how we survive. It's a very small project, and now we are still working on adding more things. Maybe in future we'll have teachers training. We're gonna have student exchange. We're gonna have at least a clinic in the school side, and so we have all these things on our list. So we have to work on one by one. We are not gonna have. But if I can get enough money, enough fund, then all this will just be done in a very short time. But because we are just struggling and try to find the right people, to do other areas, then it's gonna take a long time. So we don't get any fund anywhere. So if you guys know anybody with big money, say Dominico, we have somebody here. So that way we can get work done, quickly and safely. So, any other question? Yes.
Since everybody's been talking about the Ebola outbreaks in Africa, has that affected people near you?
No. I'm all the way on the east side, and Ebola I'm on the west side. So we have north, south, west, east. I hope it's not going to reach my village. Then I will not be going there. So we have not been affected, and I hope they will get medicine that will cure that kind of disease. So it's so scary, I think. And just hope. I'm hoping the United States will be leading the way to find medicine that can cure that kind of disease. So let's hope so. My village is not affected.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was either like your most fun memory when you first got here, or like the most shocking, other than like the airplane ride?
Wow, that's the the way American dress was one of the shocking things that I've never seen in my life. And especially it was during summertime. I would find some just right up here. I was like, oh. Because in our country, we have that high standard of, doing things or restrictions. If you are a girl, then you have to dress in a certain way so you can be respected and not, disrespected. Of course, if a girl dressed in a certain way, it will bring embarrassment to her family. And if I myself do something different, my family will be, disrespected in the community. And so all these things, when I came to the United States, shocked me. I was like, wow. So then, I started getting used to, here and there, try to adapt. And, they say if you go to England, then you have to behave the way England's behaving. And so, yes. But to me, I was just very shocked. But at the same time, I have to respect, American culture. Everybody have their own cultures, and so we respect, each one, culture. And so I was just shocked, So, but the other thing probably was, the language, because I could not hear pretty well, the English people spoke. I had difficulties, and that shocked me. I said, how am I going to survive in this society if I don't hear what people say? So it's one of the things, and we are working on improving. So I may say we're still having all the law schools, formal law schools, we're still having problems. So we need to help. You know, we don't say we are okay now. We're still having issues here and there. You know, we are working on studying the local laws. You know, not to violate. You know, maybe parking in the wrong spot or doing something wrong. So we are still working on all those things. So did I answer the question?
Okay, guys. So I have one question for you, and then we're going to have to get moving. I want to know, will you please tell us your favorite traditional Sudanese food and your favorite American food?
Well, to be really very fair enough, my dear friends, I think I would give part of that question. Maybe, question number 3 to Martha. Is that fair?
Sure.
Yes, she will answer which your favorite Sudanese food, and I will answer which is the most favorite food for me, in America here. Simple answer. Chicken wings. I try to eat hamburgers and other stuff. They all don't work. The other day I thought, can I maybe start taking vitamins so I can have more appetite? The other day I signed up for, gold gym. So I can get more, maybe, appetite on eating other things. But I think that's due to what I went through in my country, the experience. We sometimes stay days without food, and so that becomes a problem, and so I hope it's not gonna be, something that my kids will inherit, So, but I'm working on my balanced diet, so I can, maybe put on weight and have good life living at the same time. So, that's why. And actually, before that, when I went to my village, the villagers, when they heard Dominic was coming, they expected somebody big, because they think everybody in America is, big. So, but Martha, you can answer that question. Which food?
Yeah, that Sudanese food, they have different things. They have they're called kisra, they look like taco, and one they're called couscous, and asira, different. There are too many kinds.
So she's a very good cook. Actually, hopefully next time we can cook for you guys. Let's be friends. Let's be friends in the Facebook and we get together. So thank you so much.